You know, it's amazing to me how many people are looking for opportunities to give public speeches, whether it's a keynote presentation, whether it's seminars or workshops. It's just amazing how it's exploded in terms of people that want to drive income or promote their own businesses through public speaking. I'm Scott McKain, and a few weeks back I wrote a post about 10 things that amateur speakers need to know about being a professional speaker that went viral. So I wanted to create a series of videos over these next few days just to go into it a little bit deeper, to give you some more information about some of the things that separate a professional speaker from someone who just wants to speak, who's just getting started in the speaking business. We won't have 10 separate videos. I'll take one today and combine a couple in the next few days, but just to give you some ideas of some of the things that can help you step up. Now, if you haven't heard of me, no problem. At the end of this video, and this video only, I'll have a little bit of my background on there to tell you a little bit more about what I've done in my several decades in the business as a keynote speaker and why I'm qualified to talk to you about this. I'm doing these videos in part because I've been so, upset might be too strong of a word, but so challenged by how many people are talking about that you can make elephant bucks giving professional speeches. And you go to a course and you leave the course and it's going to teach you everything you need to know, it says, about what it takes to just make this enormous sums giving speeches. Well, I've been doing it for a long time. It's fascinating to me that some, now not all, but some of the people who are teaching these courses are people that have never done it themselves. And so I kind of wanted to give you an insider's view. I've done about 100 keynotes a year for the last 25 years. And so I can give you an insider's view of what it takes to get to the A list of professional speaking. Okay, so here's one of the 10 that we'll talk about today. And that is that amateurs have many speeches, professionals have few. In fact, one of the things that teaches me that someone is an amateur instead of a professional is they're always writing a new speech for the next presentation. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a professional. I customize every program I do for every group. However, there's a key set of material that I have that's what I talk about. If I don't know what you're going to talk about, how do I book you with confidence? And more importantly, even if you come and do a good job for me, if I don't know what you're going to talk about at the next speech, how do I refer you? A professional speaker grows their business on word of mouth and referrals and leveraging references in your marketing. But if you're doing a different speech every time you get on the platform, or doing different material every time you go out there, it's not repeatable and it's not referable. That means that the first thing that you need to do is to craft a great speech. Now, I'm always working on my speech. In all the years that I've been speaking, one of my goals was to create about an hour of new material every year. Now, that doesn't mean that I have 25, 30 hours of material that I'm out there using, because then the other goal is, after that's done, you throw half of it away. So you're only keeping the cream of the crop. But you've got to start right now crafting one amazing presentation. Now, in the course of these videos, we'll give you some more ideas about what it takes to do that. But stop trying to do a speech for every presentation, a new program or new material or new stuff for every presentation, until you get one presentation down cold, till it's absolutely amazing. There's one story that I do in every presentation. I'm kind of known for it. It's a story of a cab driver from Jacksonville, Florida, Taxi Terry. It even became a book after McGraw-Hill heard about the story and asked me to write a book about it. And I do that every presentation. Now, one of the things I think is critical about this is that Tony Robbins may be the best speaker in the world, but Tony Robbins could not get up tomorrow and do the Taxi Terry story as well as I do it. That's not ego. It's that he doesn't have the repetition telling that story that I do. Michael Jordan might have been the greatest basketball player to ever live, but when he played baseball, he couldn't get out of the minor leagues. And the reason is because he didn't have the repetition, the practice at baseball that he had at basketball. You got to do the reps. And so you've got to find a story and you've got to find a speech that you do repeatedly that no one else can give that presentation as well as you can. It's one of the first steps that it takes to truly be a professional. Now, if you don't know who I am, and I certainly understand that, here's a little bit about what I do and what my past is. This is the only video that this is going to be on, and I'll see you in a couple of days with more on what it takes to move from being an amateur to a professional in the field of public speaking. How can customers tell a difference between us and the competition? But there is no product that is required to become a commodity. It depends on how you treat it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. One of our best sales speakers ever. I'm going to say the best sales speaker ever, Scott McKain. Thank you, Scott.
That was great.
He's dynamic, engaging, uses a lot of humor.
Uses great examples.
It's giving me ideas and helping me to figure out how to make my business distinctive.
The customer demands more, and therefore we have to demand more of ourselves. Harvard recently wrote that the corporation now is primarily a stage upon which you showcase for your customers and your employees and your prospects. So if I'm doing business with you, how's the show? What type of experience are you creating for your customers, and how are you helping them create experiences that are absolutely amazing?
His tone of voice, it keeps you intrigued, and it's just a smooth flow.
Great energy, outstanding communication.
His speech is flawless. He doesn't even stop for a moment.
Wasn't he absolutely amazing?
That was unbelievable.
By the age of 21, Scott McKain had met with the President of the United States in the Oval Office and the Chairman of General Motors in GM's Detroit boardroom. His early experiences inspired a lifelong commitment to innovative business ideas. Forbes has named his blog as one of the top resources for thought leadership. Social Media Marketing Magazine called him one of the 50 most influential marketing experts, and Gen Juice named him one of the top 25 people for young professionals to follow on Twitter. He's been quoted repeatedly in the Wall Street Journal and New York Times, featured in USA Today and on Fox News. And his book, Create Distinction: What to Do When Great Isn't Good Enough to Grow Your Business, was named by 30 major newspapers like the Miami Herald as one of the 10 best business books of the year. From playing the villain in a film that Roger Ebert named as one of the 25 greatest films in the history of the cinema, to being a nationally syndicated commentator seen weekly by millions, to a successful business leader, Scott McKain's background is diverse and profound.
So when you get back home from this important event, you're getting ready to hit it one more time. Would you think about what we talked about this morning? Maybe splash a little extra cold water in your face, look at yourself in the mirror and say, today I create distinction. Thank you for the chase. That's it. I appreciate it. Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it.